Two cybersecurity professionals who were supposed to protect companies from ransomware attacks were secretly running their own ransomware operation, demanding up to $10 million from victims. And when the FBI came knocking, one of them confessed everything, said he feared going to federal prison for the rest of his life, then immediately booked a one-way flight to Paris with his wife. This isn't just another cybercrime story. This is the ultimate betrayal of trust. These were people companies hired to protect them, and they used that position to victimize the very clients who trusted them. Kevin Tyler Martin was a ransomware negotiator at Digital Mint. Ryan Clifford Goldberg was an incident response manager at Signia. They had access, they had expertise, and they used both to become the criminals they were supposed to fight. Let me explain why this case is so devastating for the entire cybersecurity industry. These weren't amateur hackers learning on YouTube. These were seasoned professionals with legitimate credentials and insider access. Kevin Martin worked at Digital Mint, a company that literally helps ransomware victims recover their data and negotiate with attackers. He knew exactly how the process worked because he was facilitating it every day. Ryan Goldberg was an incident response manager at Signia, one of the most respected cybersecurity firms in the industry. When companies got hacked, they called Signia. When Signia showed up, Goldberg was part of the team that investigated the breach. Between May 2023 and April 2025, they allegedly used their professional knowledge to run Black Cat ransomware attacks, targeting companies and demanding ransoms up to $10 million. But here's where the story takes a dramatic turn. When the FBI interviewed Goldberg, he didn't lawyer up or deny everything. He confessed. According to the Department of Justice indictment, Goldberg told FBI agents he got into ransomware to pay off debt. He said he feared he was going to federal prison for the rest of his life. And then, and this is where it gets absolutely wild, after confessing to federal agents, he and his wife booked a one-way flight to Paris. They literally tried to flee the country after admitting to federal crimes. He's now in custody, but think about the audacity. You confess to running ransomware attacks, then immediately try to escape to France like you're in some kind of spy movie. This case represents something that should terrify every business owner who's ever hired a cybersecurity firm. How do you trust the people you're paying to protect you? Martin has been released on $400,000 bond and is barred from any cybersecurity work. But the damage to the industry's reputation is already done. Both Digital Mint and Signia have cooperated with investigators and say the criminal conduct happened outside their systems. But how do you explain to clients that your employees were moonlighting as the very criminals you're supposed to defend against? It's like hiring a security guard to protect your house, only to discover he's been casing it for a burglary crew. The violation of trust is complete and devastating. The specific ransomware they allegedly used, Black Cat, is particularly sophisticated. This isn't some script kiddie malware you download from the dark web. Black Cat, also known as ALPHV, has been responsible for some of the most devastating ransomware attacks in recent years. It's ransomware as a service, meaning the operators provide the malware and infrastructure, while affiliates like Martin and Goldberg carry out the attacks. The fact that cybersecurity professionals chose Black Cat shows they knew exactly what they were doing. They picked one of the most effective and profitable ransomware families available. And because they understood incident response from the defender's perspective, they probably knew exactly how to make their attacks harder to investigate and attribute. This case creates a crisis of confidence that will ripple through the entire cybersecurity industry. If the people we hire to protect us are secretly attacking us, who can we trust? Every cybersecurity consultant, every incident response team, every security vendor now has to deal with the question, how do we know you're not like Martin and Goldberg? The background check and vetting processes that seemed adequate yesterday suddenly feel completely insufficient. How do you screen for someone who might turn criminal after you hire them? And for legitimate cybersecurity professionals, this is a nightmare. They're now associated with an industry where some practitioners are literally the criminals they claim to fight. This case also highlights something disturbing about the ransomware economy. It's so profitable that even well-paid cybersecurity professionals are tempted to switch sides. Goldberg said he got into it to pay off debt. That suggests the financial pressures were significant enough to overcome professional ethics and legal consequences. And if cybersecurity professionals with good salaries and career prospects are turning to ransomware, what does that say about the economics of cybercrime versus cybersecurity? We might need to fundamentally rethink how we compensate and incentivize the people we trust to defend our digital infrastructure. Martin and Goldberg's case is a wake-up call for the entire cybersecurity industry. The people we trust to protect us can become the very threats we're trying to defend against. Next week, I'm covering the DoorDash social engineering attack that exposed customer data across 4 countries and why this marks their 3rd major breach since 2019. Subscribe because trust in cybersecurity is more fragile than ever. Hit that notification bell. The next betrayal might involve someone you've already hired.